Thank you for checking out Tea and a Buddy on YouTube. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to the Tea and a Buddy podcast with me, Dominic.
And me, Erica.
A very serious episode today.
Very serious episode.
Very serious.
Very somber occasion.
So serious and so somber. We're going to be talking about the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl!
Well, the Super Bowl, yes. What exactly is the Super Bowl for our non-American listeners?
We don't know.
You don't know? It's just something that happens every January or February.
Yeah, it's the big football game. It's the ultimate football game.
Ultimate football game. It's the annual American football game that determines the champion of the National Football League.
Yeah. So basically the whole football season, again, we're talking about American football.
Yes, American football, which is popularly referred to as hand egg in most of the other world.
What?
Because it's not a...
Hand egg?
Hand egg, because it looks like a little egg and you're using your hands to... Well, hand egg. That's a meme. That's a popular meme that's gone when people go, oh, no, that's soccer's not football, this is football. And, they show American football, and then British people go, no, that's hand egg.
Hand egg?
It looks like a little hand egg. It's rugby. It looks like rugby, basically. American football. It's like rugby with more padding. That's what I say.
Yeah. But so basically the whole football season is a big tournament.
The biggest tournament.
Yeah. You have, well, early on, I guess it's just games to determine who's in the lead. And then it starts boiling down to a tournament. People start getting knocked out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs. And then you have the final game, and that's the Super Bowl.
And the winner receives the Vince Lombardi trophy. Or how do you say it? Lombardi.
Vince Lombardi, yeah.
It's Lombardi, where I'm from. Okay? Isn't it?
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And,
we're not Super Bowl. We're not...
Super Bowl heads.
Yeah. We're not particularly sports people. I do like baseball. I haven't
she
kept
gets up and she starts swinging the baseball bat around sometimes.
I haven't really kept up with professional baseball in a few years, but
20 years.
That's really kind of the only sport that I really watch. Maybe watch the Olympics just to get like the competitive vibes going, America versus Britain,
Yeah. I mean, the Super Bowl, that's obviously something that doesn't really play out in the UK, they might show it.
I've heard that people are into it.
People watch it. Yeah, people just watch it, just to maybe they'll into
the NFL.
Like they're into baseball. It's not really played.
Some games in London, I feel like, this year.
There might be the London Kings or something.
The London Kings. London Kings.
That might be
You totally just pulled that one out of
No, I didn't. I'm sure there's a team out there called the London Kings, and they're like an American football. They might be a baseball.
Oh my god.
Might be a baseball team.
Their mascot is a fat little Henry VIII.
Little fat little Henry VIII going like a... Play ball!
Play ball.
I command you to play ball. God.
Yeah, but anyway, so we're not super sporty people in this house. We did watch the Super Bowl, though. Well, we watched from halftime onward.
It's usually held, obviously it's held in an American city. Like you say NFL.
Yes. Yeah. National Football League.
That would be funny if they held the Super Bowl in London. I don't think they've ever done that.
No.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And it's chosen like 3 to 4 years beforehand. The stadium is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the teams that are playing.
It's not like, we'll choose one of the others' home stadium or whatever.
Right, no.
And it's usually like a warm weather site, isn't it? It's like Florida or California.
No. Mm-mm.
Huh?
I don't think so.
Or in a dome stadium?
I think it can be, it'll have a dome, but they definitely have had it in like snowy places, because I can remember...
Well, it's usually a warm weather
But
site,
what I was going to say is, in baseball, so like in the World Series, the
World Series.
The two teams that end up in the World Series, they'll play at their home stadiums. But the Super Bowl is not like that. Like, they give all the stadiums a chance to host the Super Bowl because it's a lot of money that's brought in during that game.
Yeah.
The networks, the American television networks, like, they take turns, they alternate who broadcasts it each year.
Oh, yeah, like
so it's
NBC
not the same network.
or ABC or so it's like the Super Bowl. Well, look, you know, like no, it's
it's like the Super Bowl.
No, it's like the Super Bowl. It's like the Queen's speech. Sorry, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, they do that same thing. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah. Because again,
it's like a big thing.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of viewers.
Yeah, it's a lot of viewers.
Yeah. So they just like take turns. Like this year, it was on Fox, but you know,
was it on Fox this year?
Next year it could be on CBS. Next year NBC. Next year ABC. You know, yeah.
The first one was in 1967. I thought it had been going since the 50s. I thought surely it has been going since the 50s, but apparently the first Super Bowl was in 1967.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought...
Like, they just decided, oh, yeah, we're going to have a Super Bowl, and this is going to be a big thing, and we're going to have the families are going to be getting Super Bowl parties with, like, snacks and drinks and snacks and drinks and all that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, people just have a Super Bowl party and you end up not watching the bloody game.
I remember going to Super Bowl parties as a kid. And of course I was a kid, so, you know, as
And you're just having snacks and drinks and you're like, oh, who won the game? I don't know.
Playing board games, the adults are drinking, you know, it's like...
It's the craziest thing.
Yeah, it's sort of like, if you live in a warm weather state... Sometimes they'll be barbecuing,
grilling,
yeah.
Grilling. Steaks, chicken,
yeah,
corn on the cob.
It's a party.
And I mean, and they don't even turn the TV on to watch the game. They're just having a party. It's a Super Bowl party.
And I order a load of pizzas.
Yeah, no, but isn't that true? Like sometimes you just have a Super Bowl party and no one in there is interested in football at all. It's just like we just came over for the Super Bowl party, and it's just like.
I remember
you're not even interested in football.
I remember when I was like in junior high, I think, this girl at school invited me to her Super Bowl party, and she happened to have a little brother that went to school with my brother.
Yeah.
And so he was invited too, weirdly enough. And you know, there was other kids, but I remember they like stuck us in an upstairs like sort of playroom in this house, and we just put movies on. We had like snacks and little things. Like we were not even watching the Super. The adults were all downstairs watching the Super Bowl, I guess.
Don't even know who was playing.
No, I have absolutely no idea who was playing. I was like, yeah, Super Bowl, great.
I think since the 1990s, though, the Super Bowl has taken on a life of its own. The Super Bowl has gotten even bigger. You know, I mean, the Super Bowl's a big thing to football fans. You know, they're going to be into it. They're going to watch the Super Bowl, and it's going to be like, oh, that's who wins the ultimate thing. It's like the FA Cup in that term. Or the World Series, as you say, you know, the final game of the World Series.
Yeah.
But since the 1990s, people have just kind of jumped on the bandwagon of like, yeah, let's have a party. And they've been like, yeah, Super Bowl... the halftime show is the big thing.
Yeah.
It's like people are like, oh, we're tuning in to watch the halftime show. Because before the 1990s, it was all like brass bands and marching bands and stuff. Was just doing the halftime show, playing whatever, like the hits of the day. But and maybe Andy Williams, maybe someone else would come out and sing, and someone would sing the national anthem or whatever. You know?
Yeah, because at the World Series, for example, it's another game that it doesn't. Yeah, I guess as far as length of time that they're playing, it's probably comparable, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's no halftime show. The Super Bowl is definitely very big on their halftime entertainment.
Yeah,
And
well, now it is.
Yeah. Some people tune in just for the halftime show. I mean, I put on Instagram, tuning into the Super Bowl to watch J-Lo. You know, we're turning the Super Bowl on now. And some people were like, I've been watching the game the whole time. I'm watching it for the game, you know. And it's just like, yeah, but a lot of people do tune in just for the halftime shows, depending on who's performing.
I think I think the whole kind of thing started when the network kind of figured out, the halftime show is like the big draw.
Yeah.
Is when New Kids on the Block performed.
Oh, I remember that!
I think they performed in 1990
or
91 or something. And that was when they were like, this is actually, we could get like big, huge stars to do it. I think in 92 it was Gloria Estefan.
Oh, yeah.
Estefan. And she was doing, come on everybody, let's do the conga. Come on everybody, let's do the conga.
Yes. So this is the body gadget.
This is the body gadget. That was Olivia Newton-John, wasn't it?
No.
What is it?
Okay, it's story time. The rhythm Dominic used to think as a kid.
It's gonna get you. The rhythm is gonna get you.
That she was saying, this is the body gadget.
It's gonna get you. Yeah. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, when I was a kid, I thought that's what she was saying.
If you're a regular...
Gadget.
If you're
body gadget. I was like, what is she saying? This is the body gadget. What body gadget?
We should make
what are you talking about, Gloria Estefan?
We should do like secret codes so that we know people are really listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
And they can just like
if you've listened,
can just tweet us or
something.
This is the body gadget.
Tweet us or DM us. This is the body gadget if you've listened to this podcast, this episode. If you listened, tweet us and we'll know that you've listened and we'll love you. And we'll give you a shout out, whatever.
We'll love you, we'll give you a shout out, whatever.
Michael Jackson performed the next year in 1993.
Oh yeah, that was a big
that
one,
was
yeah.
See, that was when it started culminating. It was like, just have the big Michael Jackson people.
Yeah.
With the hat and doing the moonwalk. I think he did all his hits, didn't he, in like 30 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, it's not actually that long.
It's not a long set. I mean, it's perfect, isn't it?
I want to say it's like 10 minutes, yeah. But yeah, so what they do at halftime is, I mean, obviously their stage is in the middle of the field.
Yeah,
so,
they have to like erect it and
so they'll have like announcers who are like analyzing the game, and then while they're setting up the stage and everything.
Yeah.
And then you come out, they'll perform for about 10 minutes and then everything's just taken down again,
Yeah.
So they end up only doing, unless they do a medley, they end up only doing like 4 songs, maybe. Maybe it's
5,
like it's about 15 minutes. I'm not sure.
It's about 15 minutes.
It's not very long though.
They had Diana Ross in that. These are some of the Super Bowl performers.
Oh yeah.
Diana Ross in 1996, Boys to Men in 1998.
Love Boys to Men.
Stevie Wonder in 1999. I think Gloria Estefan came back for that one. Aerosmith in 2001. U2 in 2002, which was like there was a sort of theme for the September 11th attacks because it was only a couple of months after that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The famous Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake 2004 performance where he ripped off a freaking bust.
Yeah. And that was a huge controversy.
That was a huge controversy because then the people were like, this is getting out of hand now.
Well, the thing about it is you always have the conservative people. They usually complain no matter who's performing because... pop music can get a bit risque. Sometimes the costumes or the dance moves or whatever.
But he wasn't supposed to do that, was he? He was supposed to rip off something else.
I vaguely remember them complaining when Michael Jackson performed because, he was always grabbing his crotch and stuff. And he had that dance move that he was always like...
And that was between songs.
Supposedly, that was not supposed to happen. He was supposed to just rip off, a layer, and then she was going to have,
something else.
A lacy layer. I don't know what was supposed to be under there, but the whole thing came off instead of just the one layer.
Yeah.
People say, was it supposed to happen, though? Because she had this huge nipple ring that was basically covering her nipple for the most part. And they only showed it for a split second, But, yeah, people freaked out.
Had a freak out. This was people... I tuned in to watch the football.
It's family programming, though, isn't it?
Family program. My kids are watching this.
You can't get your boob out when...
Yeah, Janet Jackson, you can't get your boob out.
When there's, kids watching, people don't appreciate, they can see their mom's boobs, but they don't want them seeing some random person.
Don't want to see Janet Jackson's boobs. What's going on here? And Justin Timberlake with his... crazy curly cheesy fries hair.
But then you have other people saying, because Aerosmith had performed just a couple years before, and Steven Tyler is always like shirtless or with an open shirt or whatever. You know,
I think Maroon 5 did it, didn't they?
Maroon 5 did it just a couple of years ago.
And there's also people we just actually saw a story about women complaining about Shakira and J-Lo's performance.
Yeah.
Oh, they shouldn't be wearing that clothes.
So if you didn't know, Shakira and Jennifer Lopez were the halftime performers of this year's Super Bowl. Yeah. Sorry.
Some water.
If you've been listening to our podcast, you know that we're like dying of allergies over here.
Yes, it's allergy season in Austin.
At some point, our voices will like get back to normal and we'll stop choking on our own, you know.
Well, I choked because I was I drank some water and it went down the wrong way. So.
But yeah, so you have people going, oh, well, you know, Maroon 5's got his shirt off, you know, what's the difference in seeing his nipple or Janet Jackson's nipple or, you know, whatever. I mean, Maroon 5 was much more recent than the Janet Jackson thing, but you get my point, you know. So I don't know, you know, whatever your opinion is on the subject, that's what happened.
Well, yes, yeah. I mean...
And it was a big thing. I think they had to pay fines because it was like, you know, you can't do that on live television before a certain
a watershed hour.
Yeah. So I think they had to pay some fines and it was a big deal. Yeah. So
well, I remember it made the news in the UK. I mean, I was living in the UK back then, and they made the news then, you know, and it's just kind of like because the worldwide known performance and stuff like that. It's just and it was just kind of like I mean, it was just like a bit of gossip, a bit of like sensationalism, but
it got really heated because you had people pissed off about what happened in the first place, but then you had other people going, well, why was it her fault? Justin Timberlake's the one who was like ripping it off. Why was that? You know, he
it's all his fault. Yeah, Justin.
Yeah.
Own up to it.
And everybody was going, oh, that Janet Jackson, she's so disgusting or whatever, you know. And
she didn't mean to get her boobs out. It just happened, okay? It's the Super Bowl.
Anyway, so then it was a big thing, like, oh my God, what are they going to do next year? Because they really have to, like, redeem themselves, like, repair their reputation. The Super Bowl,
and the only way to do that is to bring in Paul McCartney.
Was to get someone wholesome that everybody the world over loves. Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah,
that's why they did it.
Yeah, they did it because, you know, they were just like, oh yeah, we'll get Paul to do it.
Can you imagine how much that must have cost them?
Yeah, I mean, he probably made a good packet off of that too.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'd been asking him for years, apparently, to do it. You know, since the 90s, I think they'd been asking him to, like, go ahead and do the Super Bowl, and he'd always been kind of like, him and Bruce Springsteen and others apparently had been like denying it, saying, oh, I don't want to do the Super Bowl halftime show, you know, it's like, for whatever reason. And, you know, Paul, then, you know, they must have said, name your price to him, probably. Well, because we need you, you know.
Because it's a bit difficult, because there's sports.
You're just going to play the Beatles, everyone knows the Beatles, you know.
Because it's like they're sports fans. The people at the Super Bowl. They've paid a lot of money to come and watch a game, you know. Yeah. They're not necessarily your fan, whoever you are.
Well, yeah, that's true.
On that stage, you know. So it's a little bit like, this is not my crowd, you know what I mean? Like, this is not the audience that I'm used to performing to. So it's a big audience because it's on television, but I think as far as like, you know, I don't know what the live audience is going to be like, because these are not people maybe who necessarily come and see me in concert, but choosing someone like Paul McCartney, it's a pretty safe bet.
It's a universal kind of audience, you know, it's like someone there is going to be into him, you know, and, you know, it's just that kind of thing.
They're going to know his songs.
They're going to know his songs, and, you know, they play Beatles songs and Wing songs at, like, you know, sports events all the time. But yeah, you know, it's just going to get someone wholesome in to do it, you know.
I love how Paul McCartney's wholesome.
He is all of a sudden wholesome. He's just like, he's not going to get... The only thing he took off was his jacket, you know.
Yes. And then so since he did it,
then the Stones had to come the next year and do it. It's like, okay, we'll do it too. And I think all
the hugest acts were like, oh yeah, I'll do the Super Bowl.
Yeah, then Prince, and then Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and then Bruce Springsteen finally did it in 2009.
Yeah.
And then I think The Who did it in 2010, and, you know, so on and so on. You know, Beyonce.
People started complaining about, like, the classic rock acts, though.
Yeah,
and
I'm sure
were
they were just
let's get some pop back in there.
Yeah, let's get some contemporary artists back in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were just like, oh, this is just turning into all these hits, you know.
But I mean, really, my favorite Super Bowl performances were when they were doing all the classic rock acts. But I mean, that's, you know, who I listen to anyway. Although, you know, I do remember New Kids on the Block, and I did love them at the time.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't come, because they've reformed now, haven't they? So they should be. Should be back.
They should do like a nostalgia act for everybody our age.
Would.
Like do a Super Bowl thing with. Maybe they did do that.
NSYNC have performed
with like all. Yeah.
They'll have NSYNC. They'll have New Kids on the Block.
I think Britney Spears performed.
Yeah, Britney Spears has done it. Yeah.
The other biggest thing about the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, even bigger than the halftime show is the commercials.
Yes.
Because, you know, they are. That's what they've discovered that. So people are just coming to watch the Super Bowl to watch the commercials.
Yeah.
And they're just like, you know, like they're muting the game until the commercials come on.
It's like, that's the only time people watch commercials is during the Super Bowl.
I mean, you know, some of the... Oh, well, I've got ones up here, like, you know, like the top 10.
Of this year's?
Oh, not this year's, of all time.
Of all time, yeah.
The honourable mention goes to that. What's up?
Oh, are you joking? What website is this?
This is the Bleach Report.
Bleach Report.
The official the original What's Up
Bleacher
Budweiser
Report.
Ad.
Sorry.
The original What's Up Budweiser ad had come out on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
And then seeing like it was going to be a big thing, they made a Super Bowl commercial, I guess, in 99 or 2000.
They revived it
this year, yeah.
With all the, like,
but it was an international thing as well. Everybody was doing it, you know. The Budweiser, what's up? What's up? You know.
So annoying. Yeah, that was so annoying. What did we just saw? We just saw in something we were watching. Oh, remember the beloved commercial? What's up? What was that in? That was something recent we were watching.
It was Ant-Man.
Remember that beloved
his
commercial?
Mate.
Yeah.
Lewis comes in and goes, oh, remember that beloved commercial?
They were just like, really?
The Singing Frogs, do you remember that one? From 1995?
Yeah, vaguely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the one. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, so if you guys have been listening to our podcasts for a while, you perhaps heard our British Christmas commercials podcast. Adverts, yeah, where we talked about the ads that come out at Christmas time in Britain are a really big deal. Basically, it's very similar to what happens over here during the Super Bowl. And yeah, I mean, I think some of our commercials probably come on in Britain. I mean, obviously you said the WhatsApp one you were familiar with, but just like the British commercials that are really popular in Britain at Christmas time, they don't necessarily gain worldwide popularity because they are an ad at the end of the day.
Well, so yeah, that's true.
They're perhaps advertising something that is not worldwide.
It's specific, yeah. Well, there's the E-Trade Talking Baby.
Oh God, that was so creepy. I don't remember that
one. You know, I mean, I didn't really watch these.
It was
commercials
a CGI
before I came over here. You know,
it was a CGI Talking Baby, but like before CGI was really, really good.
I remember the Old Spice one from 2020. The man your man could smell like.
Yeah.
I'm on a horse. You know, it was this
guy got really popular.
And he got really popular because it was just so crazy. And, you know.
It was really random.
And it's still running. I think they brought him back maybe for the Super Bowl.
They had some kind of, I think it was a Procter and Gamble something ad. I don't know. I caught like the very end of it, but they had characters from all different kinds of like Bounty and Mr. Clean and a lot of popular American what do you call them, like just character mascots, like brand mascots.
Yeah, brand mascots.
Yeah, they combined them all into one one ad. I don't even know what it was for. I think it was just like to celebrate all the Procter and Gamble like companies or whatever. I did definitely see the P&G at the end, but I don't know if, whatever. But I think he was in that one, the Old Spice guy. He was very like muscular and everything, so everybody was like, "Oh God, he looks really good." You know, he was like coming out of the shower with the towel wrapped around his waist, and
it was just weird, random kind of like non sequitur things, you know.
Yeah.
Number 6 is from 2010, the Betty White Snickers commercial.
Yeah, that was
where
popular.
She was like, "Oh, come on, man, you've been riding me all day," and you know.
Yeah. Oh, you're not yourself when you're hungry.
Yeah.
Eat a Snickers or whatever. Yeah.
And they did, and you know, they spawned a load of those with like Joe Pesci and
they still do them.
They still do those kind of things. Yeah. Pepsi in 1996 with Your Cheating Heart. Do you remember that one?
I don't remember that one.
A rival delivery guy who gets busted cheating on the drink he delivers to stores. You know, I vaguely remember seeing it.
I don't remember that.
And it's kind of like...
We're getting older here.
Yeah, we're getting older here. The Coca-Cola Mean Joe Green from 1980. That was before your time.
Yeah. I don't know that one.
Volkswagen. I vaguely remember this one, The Force. And it was like a Star Wars...
Yeah, I don't...
It's like they trotted out a mini Darth Vader for a display of the Force. And it was something... Yeah, it was... I mean, if you're a Super Bowl ad watcher, you'll probably remember all these... McDonald's in 1993, the Larry Bird versus Michael Jordan
I vaguely remember that. Yeah, that was popular because of course they were huge figures in American basketball.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the number 1 is the 1984 ad from Apple from 1984. When it was the introduction of the Macintosh computer, apparently.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And it was kind of like all wrapped in overtones of George Orwell's 1984, and it was kind of like a really cool thing, you know.
I'll tell you one I can specifically remember when I was a kid. I have no idea what year it came out, but it was the Energizer Bunny Rabbit.
Yeah.
The very first year that they created him as their mascot, they had him... in a Super Bowl. They like debuted him in a Super Bowl ad. Yeah. And he would just keep like every commercial
keeps on going.
Yeah, he keeps going and going. And it was just so like it was just unique and innovative at the time, I can remember, because there would be like another commercial break down the line of, you know, throughout the game, and it would look like it was going to be a commercial for something else, and then all of a sudden the little rabbit would just come at the bottom. He keeps going and going, and you're just like, oh my god, cool, they carried the commercial through. Like it was like, and they did that throughout the whole Super Bowl, and it was a really good, interesting cute. It was a really cute campaign, like that you just hadn't seen before. So I can remember.
Very cute.
I can remember that one. Some of the popular ones from this year.
The Bill Murray was the top one.
Oh, was it? Yeah, that was cute. Yeah.
Bill Murray, what was it?
It was a Groundhog Day.
That's it.
Because yesterday,
and that was for Jeep.
Oh, we're recording this on Monday, by the way.
We're recording this on Monday. Yeah.
Yeah. So yesterday on Sunday, on Super Bowl Sunday, it actually was Groundhog's Day. So,
there we go.
Yeah. So that was like tied it all in together.
Yeah. So he recreated that role from this 1993 film.
And you know, the CGI is so good now. I can never tell if these animals that are in these commercials are real or if they're just animated. Yeah. He was really cute. Either way,
the little cute groundhog. Yeah. Doritos had the Sam Elliott dancing to Old Town Road.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Yeah,
with his mustache.
Yes.
And that was the Mr. Peanut ad.
Yeah, they made kind of a thing about that.
Yeah, they did like a week ago. They had Mr. Peanut suddenly die with Wesley Snipes and the guy who was on Veep.
Yeah,
Mike from Veep, and he died. And then they had his funeral, and
but he was reborn.
He was reborn, Baby Nut, and of course they're cashing in on the Baby Yoda popularity.
Yeah.
Mr. Kool-Aid and Mr. Clean were there.
And they were just like, oh, just
kidding. The Kool-Aid Man and Mr. Clean were at his funeral and all that.
I don't know. We kind of skimmed through the commercials. I mean, like I said, we only turned the game on at halftime, and we were like eating dinner and stuff. We weren't really paying attention. So we skimmed through the commercials after the game, the ones that were supposed to be the popular ones. I didn't really see any that were like super stand out.
No.
The Disney Plus commercial for it wasn't anything special. It was just literally an ad, like a trailer for all their new shows and stuff that they have coming out. Yeah, that was cool because we're getting really
Loki,
into Marvel.
Yeah, the Loki series that's coming, and I think there's another series coming. I can't remember which one it was. Maybe the Hulk.
No. Oh, I don't remember.
Hulk smash.
WandaVision, Loki.
And it was another Marvel.
Yeah, it was something to do with
Black Widow.
Captain America. Yeah, there's a Black Widow movie coming out. Yeah.
Something to do with Captain America.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, let us know which, if you watch, well, I'll back it up here.
Back it up.
Beep, beep, beep. Let us know if you watch the Super Bowl, if you're a football fan, if you just tune in for the halftime show, which halftime show throughout history has been your favorite one.
Yes.
And if you did watch this year's Super Bowl, let us know which Super Bowl commercial was your favorite one. If you watched the commercials, or do you watch the commercials? Do you care? If you're a football fan, do you even care about the commercials? Like,
do you just mute the TV and just go off and just talk about what's going on in the game?
Yeah.
Not watch the commercials.
Yeah, so let us know.
Oh, there was one in 1995 with Ringo and the Monkees, wasn't it? For Pizza Hut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was another Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, I can remember that one. That was really good.
Yeah.
I was a huge Monkees fan as a kid, so I was like, oh, the Monkees, and then it
was Ringo. Wrong lads.
Yeah, that was really good. I can remember that one. So yeah, let us know any of those things. We just like to hear from you. Essentially. So, I think that's going
to be it. Yeah, I think we've Super Bowled it out now.
Yeah. Hey, before we go really quickly though, is there anything that's like the equivalent of the Super Bowl or the World Series or anything like that in Britain?
Not really.
There's no kind of
the World Cup final maybe.
That that everybody in the country kind of tunes in for.
I mean the FA Cup final maybe. Or the World Cup final, usually. And I mean, it's because it's different because, you have the rugby
World League.
The rugby league, or the rugby union, which is like the Six Nations. Mm-hmm. That's something that people would tune in. Because, I lived in Wales, so it was like...
Rugby was bigger.
Rugby was bigger than football. Or soccer, as you like to say. But, it's usually like the World Cup is the big thing, and that's actually the World Cup because it's like that's going to be watched by football fans all over the world,
Yeah.
So, but that's the only thing I can think of, But I don't remember having a World Cup party or going to... I never really knew anyone who was really into sports, really. My uncle's really into rugby, but...
Yeah.
He's going to watch it anyway,
Whether like it's a final game or anything.
It's a final game, he goes to the games and everything.
It seems like soccer is always going on in Britain.
Well, it's pretty much always going on. Yeah. Premier League and all that.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
Now we'll wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. As always, we really appreciate you tuning in. We would not be doing this otherwise.
We'd not be doing this without you.
Yeah. So we appreciate that.
So thank you.
Be sure and share us with all your friends, and we appreciate you even more then.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you next time.
Talk to you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.